In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a quiz funnel for any e-commerce business that you want. And more precisely, we are going to, it will be an in-depth video. We are going to look at different examples of quizzes and also how to think of your quiz, how to go deep to find what kind of quiz you need to build. And at the end, I will share with you this exact technique that allowed me to generate more than 40,000 leads at less than 50 cents per lead, while being profitable. As you can see, like 16,000 euros spent for more than 80,000 in sales that were tracked, and reaching more than 2 million people at the same time. And all of that also while sending emails, personalized email to all the subscribers with an open rate at 80% and a click rate at 65%. So if you are up to it, stick up to the end of this video. I promise you that you will have everything you need to do it for yourself and to create this strategy for your e-commerce. So let's go with the basic first. Before talking about the quiz funnel, I would like to talk about what is not a quiz funnel, and that is the basic e-commerce funnel, right? More or less, everyone out there is doing the same thing. People are doing ads. They bring the viewer to a landing page. This landing page drives to a product page or several product pages, and people should buy at this point. And in the meantime, somewhere here, brands try to get the email of the people. Generally, the most common is a 10% off, but it could be something else. And some brands are doing amazing ads or amazing landing page or amazing pop-up, but that is the basic. Ads, landing page, product page, purchase. So if we look at what creates money for e-commerce, this equation is like the basic. It's traffic times conversion rate times lifetime value minus cost equal profit. And if we look at the basic e-commerce funnel, then we can see, especially these days, that we have a lot of problem to improve the profitability of e-commerce. And it starts from the traffic, where we have, when it gets harder and harder to get the right data to track the right people, to attract the right people. And that is due to all the privacy problem. We can see higher CPM everywhere. And that is a common problem. Low CTR, because there are more and more competition, so the CTR is going down. People are exposed to more and more ads. Regarding the conversion rate, same thing. We have the competition increasing, so people are less likely to convert, so it's hard to stand out. When it comes to the lifetime value, when we want to sell more to a current buyer, then it's not like we lack of information, but this funnel gives the minimum information, like what they bought, their name, address, and that's it. And we are going to see later how to increase that. And finally, the cost. Well, we know that customers are more likely now to return their product, so it's more work into the customer service and so on. Okay, now that we have seen what is the basic of e-commerce, let's have a look at what is a quiz funnel. I guess if you are watching this video, you probably have heard about it, but let's have a look at two unicorns that use a quiz as a main source of attracting customers. The Farmer Dog, for example, I'm not going to go through the quiz, it will be too long for this video, but that is basically a unicorn. They are evaluated as at more than $1 billion, and they sell dog food, everything through a quiz. You go there, then you will follow some steps that will ask you some information, and then you will have a recommended offer for you. Another good example here is also Noom, same thing. It's a unicorn, and they only have a quiz. This is the only way to get customers. The way that they are doing quiz is one specific way, and we will see maybe later that there are several ways, and we are going to see in depth one of them. But those companies have the quiz as the main piece of their strategy, and it's possible to have that, but also to have it as a side piece. It doesn't matter. It's up to you, up to your product, and depend of your strategy. So let's look at a quiz funnel. What's the quiz funnel exactly? If we quickly go back to this one, ads, landing page, product page, and getting an email somewhere. Here we have still the ad, still a landing page, and now we are going to ask questions to the customer to know exactly what the customer wants. We are going to gather what we call zero-party data, as opposite as first and third-party data. Third-party data is all the data owned by another platform that you can use, like Facebook or Google. First-party data is all the data that a customer will give you on purpose, but without explicitly for you the authorization to use it. For example, if a customer gives you your address and you base an email flow from the address, it's okay, they gave you the address, but it was not meant for that. Zero-party data is data that the customer gives you for you to use it to give them the best offer. Then, after we have asked a bunch of questions, and we know now that what the customer wants, then we are going to give them a personalized outcome. And from this outcome, the customer can finally purchase. So, as you can see, it's a little bit more elaborated and maybe a little bit more complex to set up than a normal e-commerce funnel, but it's definitely worth it. So now, let's look at who is it for. Is it basically for every e-commerce company? But what is interesting is to think of what is it useful for depending on the stage of the company. If you are a pre-launch company, that I definitely suggest you are gathering leads so you can create a launch, whatever, if it's crowdfunding or if it's on your own website. But by generating leads through a quiz, you will be able to ask questions, and then you will understand your customer, and with the wording of your customer, you will create the marketing that will make you sell when you are launched. So quiz is definitely useful if you start a product. Then from 0 to 7 figure, same thing. It's like you can refine your customer segmentation by understanding what the customer is saying, and then you can start creating those different buckets, different type of customer. Market research, and then if we go up to 7 figure, it allows you to stand out and to definitely help the customer to find the right product, because the more you will grow, probably the more SKU you will have. So having a quiz to help the customer navigate this line of product is obviously useful. And of course, you can still gather fresh data as long as you grow. Now, you might wonder, is a quiz funnel good for my product, for my niche? And I would say yes, because you can find something for every kind of product. The only thing is to use the power of self-discovery, because one thing that is sure in marketing is that people don't care about your product, they care about themselves, and they care about how your product will help them to achieve what they want. So a quiz is always helping someone to find something about themselves. And even though most of the quiz we are generally aware of are quizzes to create a routine for makeup, for example, or for supplement. Yeah, those are the brands that use quizzes the most, but you can create quiz for any kind of product. So let's have a look. For example, those are random example. If you look at Taken Gadgets, which phone case fits your personality? What's the ideal laptop for your needs? Or even, of course, we have the beauty, pets. What's the best cat toy for you or for your friend, for example? Or again, supplement, it's here too. What's the right vitamin supplement for your lifestyle? Or let's look at coffee. What's your coffee personality? I'm not going to read them all, but I guess that you get the point here. You can go in every niche, fashion, home, jewelry, fitness, whatever. There is always a way to target the customer and to help the customer to find out something about themselves. Okay, now we are going to enter the hard part. So the probably the most interesting part of this video, it is how do we create this kind of quiz funnel? And it all starts with the end of the funnel. Why the end? Is because before we start to create the quiz, we should start thinking of what are the potential segments we can create from our customers. And rather than explaining all of that, I should show you what I've created here. Maybe it will be easier. So I've just segmented here to show you one thing, is that you don't need to have several products to create a quiz. It also works when you have one single product. So if we take, for example, which yoga mat best suits your practice style, we could see our customer as one and only group, but in fact, we know that customers think differently, and we probably have different persona, or it's different class of customer. We call them the way we want, but at the end of the day, we have several type of customer that care about several things and that are probably interested in different products. So for an example here, if you want to take time to read that, I have segmented the potential customer of a yoga mat business or yoga business, whatever, into 3 different categories. So the traditionalists just gave them name. They want simplicity, tradition, durability in their yoga practice. The modern one, they love fashion, innovation, so they are modern. And the comfort seeker, which of course prioritize comfort. And those 3 customers, even though they all want probably a yoga mat and different product around this niche, they are interested in different type of products, right? Same product, but maybe not the same SKU, not the same design, and not the same characteristic, not the same marketing angle. So by asking them, by thinking before of our categories, we can create the quiz that will allow us to segment those people depending on the answer to give them the right product they need. Now, why is it also fitting to a single SKU brand? Just from that, it's because you don't need to give them several products at the end. what is possible is to do the exact same thing, exact same question. And if you have one single yoga mat, the only difference is in the message, in the way you will address the customer after the customer explains how he practices yoga, what he wants, what he is looking for. Then the marketing message, the angle, the hook, the way you will educate people will be different depending on these answers and depending on the category the customer is in. But the product itself could also be the same, just the way to address customer would be different. So here we go. The 5-step quiz framework for e-commerce. This is the exact technique I've used here to get the result I showed you. It is one technique among as many as we can create, but I know that this one could be really powerful if it's done well. So let's have a look at it. We still have ads, and then we have this landing page. So the ad would be like any ads you want to do for e-commerce that will bring to a landing page, right? You don't need to talk about the quiz within the ad. It is possible, but this is not what we use for this one. In the ad, it is definitely possible to say, find out what's the best yoga mat for your yoga practice, for example. But in this specific case, it was more an ad about a product. Then comes the landing page. And from there, the customer can navigate in the whole website, can go through the product page, collection page, go back to the home page, read a blog article, read the About Us page, whatever. But at every point, everywhere in the website, you can find, sorry for the translation, it's a French website, so it was just Google translated, but you will find a call to action. The call to action will be different depending on where is it located, right? So you will have one here on the landing page. So they will discover the products, then they will see that one of the main call to action of the landing page is to take the quiz. So maybe they will take it from here, but maybe they will decide to go to the collection page. So at the very top of the collection page, before showing every other product, I will say, hey, maybe you want to save some time and take the 5-minute quiz or the 2-minute quiz. Then you will find the gin that is made for you. Here on the product page, same thing. We don't want to distract someone that is on the product page, but on the very bottom of the product page, there is the call to action that says, still hesitating? Do you need help? Then take the quiz and you will find the right jeans for you. Same thing, About Us, blog article, you got the point. This is why I call that the net. It is because as soon as someone is entering the website, the whole website is made that in a way that at some point the customer will want to click on the call to action to do the quiz because they understand that is the best way. I don't want to push it and to make them do it on the landing page. I want to have an open experience so they can go ahead and discover the whole website. But at some point, they will understand that is the best way. What happens when they click on the call to action? It opens a pop-up. And this pop-up is really important. Why is the pop-up so important? It is because in this pop-up, we are going to tell them what is the next step. And that is something I really encourage you not to skip, because when you say someone take the quiz, fine, they know it is a quiz, but it is so much better when you say, hey, here are 6 short questions, and that is what you will get. And in this case, what they get is free shipping, and also it's kind of a bonus. It's like we walk you through our universe, our world. So it's like, come and we will show you what we do. Then now the customer knows what he's going to go for, and he clicks and starts the quiz. What is special about the quiz? The first thing that I really like to do is to segment the question with 3 parts. I always have a first paragraph or section in every question that is in a different font. So here it's in italic, for example, and that will show the personality. For me, it's like every question I will react on the previous answer with the tone of someone talking normally with the customer. Then comes the question, which is always short, very clear, and bold. So even though you don't read that, you can clearly see the question if you want to go fast. And the answers are always very simple. It absolutely needs to be simple enough that it doesn't require a lot of thinking, at least at the beginning. Why? It is because in the middle of the quiz, I always want to add an open question, something that is made to make the customer describe their problem. It's when you do that, you should be really careful the way you ask the question, because it is very, you can easily trick the customer in their answer depending on the way you ask the question. So it is a question that will just push them to describe why they were interested in your product, what they tried before. Don't put 2 or 3 open questions. It won't work, but 1 open question that is well made and that is not at the beginning, because we want people to start the quiz, to engage. And this is the power of micro commitments. When someone starts something, they want to finish it. So very simple question, 1, 2, 3 simple question, open question, we finish the quiz. 5 to 8 question maximum. Why 5 to 8? It could be 4, 9, right? But it's not a big deal, but simply because less than 4 or 5, the customer doesn't feel that we really understood their problem. More than 8, it's getting long and boring and they don't want to finish. 5 to 8 is the good fit between we ask enough questions to be accurate in our answer, and also it's not too long so the customer finishes it. Then comes the thank you page. And here you can, and it's kind of open. The thank you page will obviously take in consideration the answer of the quiz, but it doesn't have to, right? What I call thank you page is the post-quiz action, because at this exact moment in the funnel, so someone saw an ad, went to a landing page, maybe went on the website, then finally decided to go for the call to action they found here, then they saw a pop-up, they started a quiz, they described their problem, and then finally they opted in, so they put their email to get the result of the quiz. And here they are on the landing page. At this moment, they are really engaged already. And this is the perfect moment to ask them to do one specific thing. I rather ask one than more than one, because it is more likely that they do it, but it could be any action basically that is important for the brand. So I put some examples here. Check out the perfect product for you. That is one way to do it. Like, you can show the product here, the product that is made for them, or check out our community on Instagram, check out our story. So you will educate the customer about the brand, why you are doing that, for example. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or check out this video. Maybe it's a video, an educational video for this specific product. Basically, you can choose what you want. And in the example that I'm talking about, what we have done is to ask, I can show you the thank you page is here. So basically it's thank you, welcome. In the next few minutes, you will receive an email containing the access to the specific jeans we chose for you depending on your answer. Here is the title of the email, so you will find it. In the meantime, here I asked, I changed it. At the beginning it was only one action, but I just wanted to test that. But here you have two actions. The first one is I asked the customer to check out our team so they can start bonding and understanding that it is a little business, a family business, so they can look into the business before even looking at the right product. And the second thing is to go and check out Instagram. And we grow from almost zero, like a few hundred followers, to almost 8,000 in the meantime that we were generating it. I found out that between 15 and 20% of the people that are completing the quiz are going to follow on Instagram if you use the Instagram action. But again, it could be YouTube. It could be you want them to check something very specific. It doesn't matter. It could be the action that you think is good for your brand. Okay, now the customer might have taken the action we wanted the customer to take. And really, a few minutes later, the customer will receive the first email. Not right away. You could send it right away, but it's also good if it comes 2-3 minutes later. Then the customers wait for it, and when they get it, they are happy to finally have it. And this is where we got the result I was showing to you. So over 40,000 email delivered with an open rate of 80%. I can tell you that is pretty good for your email algorithm and your spam score. So, and most people would also buy here on the very first email. But here's the trick. The way we designed this email flow, it is made on depending the conversion window of the ad. Let me explain. It's a bit confusing. If you are doing Facebook ads, the conversion window is 7 days. So you want a purchase to happen in the first 7 days after someone clicked on an ad. So when you explain to the customer that they will get any kind of gift, any incentive by doing your quiz, this gift or whatever should also have a deadline and not to be available after 7 days, because it will pushes the customer to take an action and make a purchase before the end of the 7 days, and then this purchase is going to be recorded within Facebook ads. So you will have the data, and then later you can find more people like that. But at the end of the day, the recipe for this flow is pretty simple. It should use the personalized content. It should educate, bring love and value, introduce the incentive here, explain that it will end in 7 days, and it should really actually end 7 days after. And in the last email, it should remind that it is the last moment for them to make a purchase if they want to get this gift, for example. And if you have that, whatever, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 email in this period of time, For this example, we had 6 between the first and the last one in total. So basically 4 between the first and the last one. It doesn't matter as long as there is one right after the thank you page and one a little bit before the end of the incentive. Okay, now that you know a little bit more on the experience from the customer perspective, then you probably understand how the customer would feel, and that's at the end of the day is more likely to make a purchase than if it's a normal e-commerce funnel, right? Although obviously it depends on the product, right? If you have an awful product, then the best quiz funnel in the world won't sell it, or maybe will sell it, but then you will have refunds, and this is not what we want. So all of that works if you have a good product, obviously. But now let's have a look at what kind of data can you use from this experience. What kind of data the customer gave you here? One of the most important is with the open question. You will have the data of the different questions that are not the open question, and they are interesting. You can find out a lot of what the customers love or dislike, whatever. But the customer wording you will find in the open question is your marketing. It's like when you get it, and from that you create new hooks, new angle, new ad copies, and you feed your ad campaign with new creatives that come directly from what the customers says. Customer or the prospect, rather, because at this step they are not customers yet. Now here, when you have several thank you pages, it allows you to create custom audiences. So basically, the end of the quiz will segment people and bring different categories of people. Remember those guys? It will bring them on different thank you page, which means you can create different custom audiences from there. So it means that in Facebook ads or in any other platform, you can retarget these people, the specific people in each category, with specific ads depending on their answer. Also, it allows you to have an event, which we will call the lead event, which is a little bit less important than purchase, but then you can have a lot of these events. So you can feed a campaign. And by the way, this is another part, is that this technique will allow you to use a lead objective instead of a purchase objective. And if we go back here to the Facebook campaign that I was showing you at the beginning, this is not a purchase campaign. This is a lead campaign. You could see here, it's a lead campaign, and you could see that because we have a lot of engagement, the CPM is really, really low, really lower than what we could have had with a purchase campaign. The CTR is high, and the action that Facebook is looking for is a lead. So we got 40,000 events for Facebook to find other people. Then here you would probably say, yeah, but purchase works, all the other events are not working. And that is true if you use this funnel. Because when you use this kind of funnel, obviously if you have people that are not referred as buyers by Facebook, so if you use the lead objective in Facebook, you will get people less qualified, but you will get them a lot cheaper and your reach will be a lot higher. But with this complete system, when they go through the whole funnel, they get the right education for them to purchase. So you are more likely to convert people that were not really looking to buy your products at the first place. This is why you can use the lead objective in your campaign. Hope this part was not too confusing. Don't hesitate to let me know in the comment or to reach out to me and we can talk about that if you would like. The last thing I told you already about that, because we are in the 7-day period, then you can send back the lead event, the purchase event. So you can also use the purchase event in your ads. Okay. At this point, you start having a little bit more understanding of the technique I was talking about, the quiz funnel for e-commerce. And now that you probably understand that it is applicable for every kind of e-commerce. And for every type of e-commerce, now if we look at the equation that we were looking at the beginning, traffic times conversion rate times lifetime value minus cost equal profits, and we apply what we just have seen with the e-commerce the quiz funnel, and we could see that it will improve every step of it. On the traffic part, it will reduce the cost because you will have better engagement. That is, that is especially if in your ads you are mentioning the quiz, because that's, if in ad you show a product and say, hey, that's a good product that will solve this problem for you, fine, you will have a normal engagement. Now, if in your ad you say, find out the best coffee for your needs, then this is self-discovery. It is here, the power of self-discovery, and then the engagement could be a lot better. This is not what we used in this example, but it could be. So you will have higher CTR and lower CPM, more engagement. You pay less for your ads. On the conversion rates side, obviously the self-discovery made the customer feels is understood. You will stand out because not a lot of people are actually using a good quiz. A lot of people are using a quiz, not a lot of people are using a good quiz. You can then use the customer wording in your marketing, which means in your ads, but also in your landing page, product page. You could use the objections, why they were why the solution that they tried before failed, and you could use all of that in your website. A better education, because through the quiz the customer gets educated, then they get a personalized email flow that will educate them on the product that they need, better education, and brand personality, because here the customer has a conversation with the brand. It is really the way it feels. They arrive on a website and then they have a conversation and then they get a recommendation. So it kind of shows the brand personality a lot more than if it's only a website. Lifetime value, then if you remember, we were lacking of data to get the customer buy again. Now we get those zero-party data, so we know exactly what the customer is looking for, what kind of customer it is, because they told us what they want. So now we can recommend the right product, the next right offer. Also, because it was an experience rather than just a purchase like any other website, it is a lot more likely than the customer will remember that. So it is easier than to sell again because they have in mind the first good experience they had with the brand. And so they feel understood. Also for the cost, logically, when you recommend the right product, probably the right sizing, you help them to find that exactly. You reduce your return rate, so you have less customer service, so you reduce your cost, and it equals more profit for you. That's it for this video. Don't hesitate to let me know in the comments if you have any question. You will also find in the description of this video a way to reach out to me. So if you want to create that for your e-commerce, definitely reach out to me and I'll be happy to get on a call with you and to see if I can help you. And thank you very much for watching.